JP Morgan, the XRP and Ripple competitor that has been the subject of conversation for a considerable amount of time. Each and every one of JP Morgan's services. The spotlight is really bright. What Jamie Dimon is saying and what JP Morgan is doing are two things that everyone is interested in seeing. What's more, it's always a hot topic. That is a significant headline in the mainstream media, if you will. Also, what does this have to do with XRP? Where does XRP stand at the moment? Is it true that JP Morgan has confirmed this, or give us a heads up about what's ahead? This is something that I believe to be true, and we are going to go over the information in order to make it more of a fact than anything else. I would want to use this opportunity to introduce myself to everyone on the channel. My name is Nick. Those of you who are new to the channel, I hope that by the time you reach the conclusion of this video, you will have subscribed to the channel. Additionally, if you are not currently a member of the free Discord server, what are you guys waiting for by not joining? It is totally free of charge. All that is required of you is to scroll down to the description found below. Join it right away, and while you're at it, check out the BidFi. I have decided to experiment with a new exchange at the moment. A close buddy of mine was the one who suggested that I check it out. Therefore, we are going to give it a shot. We will wait and see how things turn out. As a result of the mandatory KYC, we are going to type of migrate away from Mexico. Therefore, let us hope that it is a good exchange, and you should always keep in mind the most important guideline when it comes to exchanges. You should never leave any cryptocurrency or money on these exchanges. There is not a single one of them that I can trust. In most cases, we only use them as a purchase and then send them to a cold storage type of exchange. Having stated that, let's move on to the first topic, which is IBM, the company that killed Ripples, and their discussions with two large banks in the United States to develop cryptocurrency. Both of the banks were now known as JP Morgan. I also believe that the second bank was operating at the time. It is possible that I am incorrect in my assertion. Nevertheless, it may have been Wells Fargo or something similar. However, we consistently hear these conversations about the largest banks in the United States. When we hear these conversations about what these institutions in the United States are doing, they almost always result in a significant amount of nothing. To give you an example, at this time period, it was about, this new cryptocurrency, which we are already familiar with at JPM Bitcoin, right? And what this is, in reality, is a garden enclosed by walls. It has no significance. Indeed, it did not result in the death of XRP. The use case of XRP was further strengthened as a result of this. When we give this a lot of thought, we come to the conclusion that it is not a major cause for alarm with regard to what JP Morgan is doing. It has been decided that Bank of America will not use JPM coin and vice versa JPM coin. However, when we take a look at JP Morgan, we find that they have provided us with various perspectives throughout the course of the past few years concerning XRP and their support for Ripple and even XRP. It was somewhere around November in the year 2021. We got this, JP Morgan. If Ripple prevails in the case brought by the SEC, XRP is going to see a big increase in use. There are other large institutions that have made statements similar to this one besides JP Morgan. As a matter of fact, Bank of America likewise made a statement similar to that. Apparently, they suggested something along the lines of how banks in the United States will be interested in utilizing it if they are successful. As an additional point of interest, Bank of America has stated that they intend to deploy XRP with on-demand liquidity once Ripple has been successful. Indeed, is quite close to being finished. The entirety of this case is virtually completely resolved. The question now is, what will take place after this? To be honest, I do believe that there will be a large adoption of the technology, but what exactly are we looking at when it comes to JP Morgan's? Warning regarding us, is this the case? No, that is not the case. JP Morgan, however, has stated that Ripple's victory in court was a game changer for the cryptocurrency business. This statement was made even more recently, around the month of July in 2023. It was due to the fact that it actually did what it did. For these crypto assets, because XRP itself was targeted because of what Ripple was doing with it, and this kind of could be tied to any other currency in the space, ADA, Solana, etc. So the win definitely was a game changer for the entire industry, and I just find it very interesting that JP Morgan is one to really kind of comment on this. Even if it is over a year old, we know that JP Morgan has not been very supportive of this entire industry, and especially when it comes to, Ripple. But even outside of this, back in December of last year as well, JP Morgan cited XRP and Ripple as players in unlocking the $120 billion value trapped in cross-border payments. And in case you guys did not notice, the headline of this article was unlocking $120 billion value in cross-border payments, how banks can leverage central bank digital currencies for corporates. Yes, in fact, this was the title of the article. Furthermore, it is true that Ripple is referenced in this right next to Finality, Quicken, CLS. As far as the initiatives of the central bank are concerned, these are the commercial endeavors. As a result, we are able to evaluate how significant Ripple with XRP genuinely is in terms of low costs, rapid settlement, and even transparency. To reiterate, this is quite interesting. Why is JP Morgan bringing this to your attention? Exactly why does JP Morgan choose to back Ripple? Mainly due to the fact that JP Morgan, if we were to take a closer look at them, they never would have supported Ripple. They are likely to be opposed to Ripple due to the fact that Ripple is theoretically aiming to disrupt their business model, cutting out the middlemen, or if you prefer, cutting out their primary source of value, or if you will, their source of revenue. Therefore, the fact that they are referencing Ripple is another evidence of how prominent Ripple is, as well as how effective Ripple is when it comes to making payments across international borders using XRP. On the other hand, that is not the major point I want to emphasize here. It is my belief that JP Morgan has already informed us of the strategy, and because of this, I would like to concentrate on a few connections. Sandy O'Connor, a veteran of JP Morgan and a specialist in regulatory matters, has been appointed to the Ripple Board of Directors. Yes, she is still serving on the Board of Directors for Ripple. There are still a great number of links that she has back to the major institutions. Moreover, it is something that I would like to bring up again since, despite the fact that it is from the year 2020, she is still involved in the board. She is still connected to the TRAD5 environment in a significant way, for the time being. This merely demonstrates that you are aware that these major players are making their way to the board at Ripple for a variety of reasons. Exactly. They are interested in taking part in this. They are aware of the significance of this. They are well aware that Ripple is a very significant player, and they have grown into a giant over the course of the past few years. On the other hand, we also have XRP, which is the true digital gold for financial institutions. Smoke Dog deserves a lot of credit for this. I am not going to accept your word for it. We have. Pay attention to the documents. The former Chief Technology Officer of Ripple, Stefan Thomas, will have gold in his banks. The fact that you can instantaneously teleport into any vault in the globe by utilizing XRP as a currency. The XRP token was supposed to be the most liquid token on the ledger, and a marketing brochure for the token was published in 2013. The brochure touted the currency as being similar to holding gold in your hands. Ripple's key idea behind when XRP will be adopted by banks when the liquidity gets high enough is revealed in the third image, which is named Teleporting Gold. This graphic goes on to discuss how XRP will solve banks and even reveals Ripple's big theory behind it. And absolutely, liquidity is the most important factor, because even if we return to the JP Morgan research, if we actually look at this, the high volatility of XRP leads to limited desire from banks to use it to make payments. This is the crucial factor. To answer your question, yes, this is due to the fact that XRP is not very liquid and is still exceptionally volatile. If you have XRP become incredibly liquid and even, perhaps at a greater value as well, then it will become less volatile, which means that you will now be able to use it in the banking sector in a significant way. However, he stated that banks will have gold that can be instantaneously transported into any vault in the world. This is something that is available to us. On top of that, over here, there is a marketing brochure from 2013 that states that XRP is comparable to having gold in your possession, and it is intended to be the asset on the XRP ledger that is the most liquid. And a lot of the current projects that have been going on around the AM, including the stablecoin, will only build upon this even further, making XRP and even the XRP ledger highly liquid. Additionally, in my opinion, it will serve as a breeding ground for a lot of these fantastic use cases, particularly when it comes to financial institutions and banks, as well as pretty much anyone who is interested in developing highly robust, large-scale financial use cases. These use cases may be centered around tokenization efforts, for instance, or